In the year 1348, dawn breaks over the bustling city streets of London, a city filled with the sights and sounds of medieval life, yet unknowingly on the brink of a cataclysmic change. London during this period, teeming with tradesmen, nobles, and commoners, is a microcosm of the medieval world. With its narrow, winding streets and sprawling markets, people move through the city, from the foul-smelling tannery on the outskirts to the elegant, timber-framed homes of the city's wealthier inhabitants. The air is filled with the scent of fresh bread baking, the clang of blacksmiths at work, and the clamor of merchants shouting their wares in a dozen different languages. The medieval city is alive, vibrant, but cloaked in an air of underlying suspense. Life in these medieval streets is not easy. In an age when life expectancy was barely 30, survival requires skills we've long forgotten. Water is fetched from the community well, and most people live in cramped wooden houses shared with family and livestock. The gender roles are stark. Women tend to home and hearth, bearing children and managing the household, while men work long hours in the fields or at their crafts. The social hierarchy is rigid and absolute. Serfs and peasants toil beneath the lords and knights, their lives bound by the demands of feudal duty and religious observance. The church looms large, both spiritually and financially, exerting power over every aspect of life in medieval society. But it is 1348, and life for these medieval citizens is about to change dramatically. The phenomenon that will reshape everything is the arrival of the Black Death, a bubonic plague that sweeps through Asia and across the European continent. Carried by fleas that infest black rats, the plague hits the shores of England late in the year, spreading with terrifying speed. Symptoms are swift and fatal: high fever, aching joints, vomiting, and then the ominous black boils that give the disease its grim name. Within days, victims are dead and fear grips the population. The impact of the plague on real people is devastating. In every dusty village and crowded city, families are torn apart. Whole towns are left deserted as the fatal sickness advances. In London, the streets witness horrors unimaginable. Bodies lie in the gutters, piled high in hurried graves to prevent further infection. Survivors struggle to understand why. Before modern medicine, people believed this was God's punishment, says a chronicler of the time. The plague was an ordeal sent from heaven as a test or revenge for the sins of the world. Many turn to the church for comfort, while others lose faith entirely, questioning the benevolence of a deity who would permit such widespread suffering. But as devastating as the plague is, it also triggers profound cultural transformation. The social fabric of medieval Europe, once so rigid and unyielding, begins to fray amidst the chaos. Labor shortages follow in the wake of death, and peasants suddenly discover newfound bargaining power. With entire families of serfs perished and fields untended, landowners are forced to offer better conditions and wages to retain workers. This shift marks the beginning of the end for the oppressive feudal system. Moreover, as survivors try to make sense of their world, cultural expression flourishes in new and profound ways. Art and literature begin to reflect the depths of human despair and sorrow, but also an eager appreciation for life's fleeting joys. The shift in mindset becomes a seismic cultural change, paving the way for the Renaissance, an era of exploration, artistic innovation, and a rebirth of human spirit. The historical legacy of the Black Death is vast. It is a single event that changed the course of history, heralding the end for medieval serfdom and sparking a cultural rebirth that would transform Europe. The plague also reveals the interconnectivity of the world, heralding an age of both globalization and possibility, as surviving populations seek out new horizons. What aspects of medieval life would you find most challenging? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If this journey through history fascinated you, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into humanity's past. What historical period would you most like to experience? Let us know, and remember, understanding our past helps us navigate our future.